Welcome to Mind Sports Academy. I am Trey Van Cleave. I am prepping for Grand Prix Dallas weekend after next. It is modern. I have decided to play a hate deck, red-white Planeswalker control with some hate built in, playing 4 Chalice, 4 Blood Moon, and 4 Simian Spirit Guide to accelerate them out. This is how I like the list right now. I went ahead and did some testing before I got in here to test for you guys, and have tweaked it down to this list. A friend of mine, John Pellman, plays this deck religiously, and Todd Stevens has streamed it some and had a top 32 finish. I think there's a lot of potential with this deck. So a few odd choices that I'll go over briefly. Zealous Conscripts, I wasn't sold on it either, and I've tried it, and it is amazing. It's Liliana the Veil. Right when they get up to 6, you just play this. And you take Liliana and sack it, ultimate it, and make them lose half their permanents. It's devastating. I've done it with other Planeswalkers as well. I've done it with Ensnaring Bridge for the kill against Lantern Control. It's just been excellent. You'll notice there's basically no creatures in the deck except for Emrakul. Brimaz does a very good job in the format. It does die to Path, but then it accelerates your land count anyway, so that's fine. It lives through Bolt. It very quickly gets 1 extra creature out there, so Liliana doesn't smoke it. The main hate package is the 4 Chalice, 4 Blood Moon, and 4 Simian Spirit Guide, which very quickly gets out either a Chalice for 1 or a Chalice for 2, or potentially a Chalice for 0, and just smokes those decks. Slows them down so much. And then against something like Affinity, where a few creatures slip through around your Chalice of the Void, you've got Helix, Wrath of God, Anger to finish off the rest. You've got some unconditional removal like Banishing Light, tons of Planeswalkers, 9 in all, and then of course the Nahiri Emrakul combo for a quick kill. So it's a very spicy deck. It definitely suffers from playing against certain matchups if they are neither hurt neither by Blood Moon or Chalice. Most of those matchups are tough. You can still just windmill a Planeswalker early with a Simian Spirit Guide or 2 and just win that way, but those are not your good matchups. If that was the whole format, this deck would be unplayable, wouldn't be viable. But as it stands, Blood Moon and Chalice are both excellent against a number of decks, and individually, one or the other is quite good against certain decks. So let's take it for a spin, and we'll both feel this deck out a little bit and see how we feel about it. It is very fun to play. I've had mixed results. I've had a 4-1 league. I've had 2 3-2s and a 2-3. I'm still trying to figure out the exact sideboard numbers, but I like these numbers right now. They sideboard in well. So far in the matchups that I've played, I've had the right number of cards to come in and out, which is important. All right, let's battle. All right. So we get a Chalice on 2. Sorry, Chalice on 1. The issue is before board, you don't know whether or not that's really good, but whether or not Chalice is going to be really good. But I think this is a keep. I think the hardest thing with this deck probably is mulliganing, but being able to keep them off 1-drops and then jam a Planeswalker here in a bit, I think that's enough. Oh, this is Sam Party. You're on candid camera, Sam Party. That's probably not good. Well, those decks, Planeswalkers are pretty good against those decks, so. A Dark Confidant here on turn 2 would be rough. Oh, okay, so he's playing that, which is not good for us. Chalice on 1 would have been sick, but we didn't get it. I've got enough white. I don't think I need triple red. I got a lot of red. I'm not going to need anger like ever. Ugh. Just ripped a whole bunch of land that he was able to get. Hopefully a Johnny can do some work. Or maybe he's short on land. Oh, the Brickowski. The Brickorama. He's got a lot of artifacts. I'd like to stick Blood Moon, but Blood Moon probably comes out next turn. I'm going to mess with his lands. We can stick Blood Moon next turn and then Elspeth the turn after. And I think he's going to have trouble with that. Bridge is a real issue, but I'm hoping I'll be able to Armageddon him before he can get that going. Look at him ramping. That card is a bit annoying. So he wants to redirect it. That's probably okay. This happened before and it was annoying. Spellskite was just good. Alright, I think here we just jam Elspeth, right? He's hoping to get Guide out. Yeah. I'm gonna hope his last card isn't. Hope his last card is not Ensnaring Bridge. What do you do? Well, I think we're in pretty good shape here. The soldiers get to get in for a bit of damage. I can finish it off with a Johnny if I want. I'd really rather just level up. Yeah, he doesn't even want to block and lose it. I'm kind of tempted just to Wrath here. And then a Johnny... The Black Cleave Cliffs, I guess. What does he do for 4? Not much. I'd really rather just level up my Planeswalkers, I think. I mean, I could Wrath first to get rid of Spellskite. I lose 3 soldiers. I do get rid of that, and I can start tapping down perms, but that doesn't really do very much right now. And he doesn't care about... He doesn't care about his lands. He doesn't need that many lands. I'll get a Codex Shredder. Let's go ahead and jam Blood Moon out there so he can't cast like Abrupt Decay or anything else annoying. I think we're good though. Should be able to kill him very quickly here. He specifically needs bridge, though he's burning through a lot of stuff to get the bridge. I'm hoping I can Armageddon him, basically. All right. Oh, Sam Party just conceded the match. He did not want to play against my hate, apparently. Hate, 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 hate. What a great way to start off the league. All right, just to kind of run over it. My plan against that deck, I've already played against that deck. I've been taking copious notes about the deck and how it runs, but I played against it somewhere in here. Lantern Control. The one I played against ran the Teague Spellskite package. It was very good. So maybe not Rest in Peace because it kills Emrakul's anti-mill ability. But the Leyline, I brought in 3 Leylines, 2 Stonies. The Leyline stops the Liliana ultimate, the creature discard, and all the IOKs and that kind of stuff. Not to mention the ones that target players like Codex, etc. 2 Stony Silence, for obvious reasons, is insane. Zealous Concept actually quite good. Let you take the bridge, let you take something else relevant. Crumble to Dust can be great. Take out lands as necessary. Brumaz is a powerful attacker, gets around Lily very well, and just, oops, I got +2 that, +2 that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I messed that up somehow. All right, too many Brumazes. But he even managed to take our Chalice, and we still won. That is a matchup that I believe is favorable for us. I don't think it's an insane matchup, but it's a good one. Let's see if we can crack into this league here. Now let's look a little bit more at... Oh, we've been paired. All right. I would like to play first. Well, the Simian Spirit guy, this would be a good hand. It wouldn't be a great hand because we'd be down a land. We wouldn't have our turn 2 Lampa, but we'd be able to slow them down ostensibly with a turn 1 Chalice. But as it stands, I don't think we can keep this, not on the play. Maybe on the draw, but not on the play. Not a great hand, but I'm going to keep it. It's fine. I hope we're against a fair deck. I'm going to bottom that. I need 4 lands and 5 lands, but I also need some other business, and I've got a 3-drop. I'm going to go ahead and thin. I'm going to pay the 2 life anyway. I'm going to take some damage. I've got Lightning Helix to mitigate that. All right, green-white is played by... Hell, I think they're playing... I think Naya Burn plays Winds Up Teats, but we're looking at all the Coco variants, all the junk Cinderglade. Interesting. The red-white Zoo type decks, or the Naya Zoo type decks. So is it Goif? What's coming out here? He's taking some damage. That's all I know. If it's a Zoo type deck, Brimaz will walk all over that deck. A basic forest. Yeah, I was going to say something like Scapeshift, but then it didn't seem quite like Scapeshift. Now taking extra damage that I didn't need to take. That's going to be rough. All right. I'm going to get my white. Get my white on. Get Brimaz kicking. And oftentimes, especially a less experienced player, sees a creature like that, and then right away they're like, oh, you know, like if I beat them down with that, they're very focused on the card they lost to instead of maybe the deck or the matchup. He's going to get up to 4 lands here unless he just is missing a land. Nope. All right, he's ramping. Should be looking at a 3-turn clock. All right, so I'm not actually in casting anything yet. But even a Primeval Titan next turn will kill Brimaz. So, not the dream right now. A Planeswalker there would have been sweet. Yeah, we're in trouble this game for sure. We do have him on a reasonable clock. 2 more turns should do it. 5 and 6 and Helix. So if we can last that long. He's very likely to be bringing in Primeval Titan, bringing in 2 more lands, Valakuts. I don't know if he shoots me, if he shoots Brimaz, what's going to go down here, but we'll see. There's a Valakut right there. We've got Wrath of God for the Primeval Titan. That's usually a very bad spot. By the time he's brought Valakut in, if he brings in Valakut to kill our stuff, then the Wrath of God feels better. If he taps to do his guy, we can also play Gideon and kill it and hope he doesn't have another big creature. I feel like this is a deck I see online so much, and I see it almost never in real life. So I'm also banking on that because this is a bad matchup for us. They don't have a lot of 1-drops that matter. They are playing relevant 2-drops. He's playing Explore and Kalni Heart Expedition. So want to keep note of that, kind of like what version they're playing. And apparently he doesn't just have the Primeval Titan Windmill Slam here. So he's got something else. Maybe he just doesn't have Primeval. I mean, he did Mulligan. He's done a lot of drawing of lands and boosting, but he hasn't mana boosting, but he has not shown any threats. And there's no reason to expect that he has any threats other than just that he's drawn some cards. So
Okay, he has Primeval Titan. I don't know what was taking so long. Was there? He has another play that's better than that. That makes me nervous. Better than just obvious Primeval Titan. So next turn I'll attack out. Well, let's see what he does here first. Okay, he is going to finish off Brimaz, who is annoying to him. That's fine. I'm pretty sure the call is just Wrath. The best I could do is play Gideon Jura. Make him attack it with Primeval Titan. But then he brings in Valakuts and finishes it off. So I just don't think that works for us. All right, he knows what's coming. As well as we do. All right, we're not quite up to the point where we can play Helix and Gideon Jura next turn, but we're looking... If he doesn't have another big threat, we're looking pretty good this game. But, I mean, he could have Scape Shift here. That kills us. He could have another Primeval Titan. That probably wins the game. We'll just have to see. The 9-ball. Oh. That feels like GG's. So right now, because he had a million Valakut, but Blood Moon's very good against that. All right, the Keratizer. I've been keratized. I'm not sure that the Chalice is good enough. Brimaz does seem pretty solid against them. The conditional damage Wraths are not good. All this big stuff is great if you can get up to it. Wrath is good. Banishing Light's good. I'm not 100% sure about... Leylons are definitely good. Not sure in this matchup about... I definitely want to play Crumble. About the Zealous Conscripts and the Blessed Alliance. Those are the last three that are probably pretty good. The question being, how good is Chalice? I don't think it's great. Chalice on 2 will also shut down Sakura Tribe Elder if he has those, which he probably does. Just on Colony and Explore, which are both good. But it's on turn 4 that it does it. So he's already done a couple by then. So I just don't know that it's strong enough. I don't know that it's a 4 of. Blood Moon's excellent. Brimaz will help close the game out, which is nice. I also don't know how good Lightning Heals is. It can be gain life, which could help get around a Scape Shift kill, but that seems very unlikely. I think Blessed Alliance is probably just straight up better than Lightning Helix. I want to experiment a little bit more with Chalice because I think Chalice for 2 is pretty good, and we cut a lot of 2s against them. So that might be where we want to be. Let's see. Oh, I think that The Zealous Conscript should probably be in. That was probably a mistake. I think I have to keep here. I've got Blood Moon, which I think is very strong against them. Though they have a very good fair plan. So we have to fight the fights that we can fight, and that's one of them, is the escape shift fight. Let's temple. Anything that's not a land here, we got to put on the bottom. Yeah, I just don't know that they play any ones. I can't think of any ones they play. But can I afford to hold it for a 2 with all this action at 4 right here? I'm going to play it. I don't know that it does anything, but I'm going to play it anyway. Interesting. All right. Well, it does shut down some spells, apparently. He may think we have more creatures than we do. Yeah, that's probably just games. It might have been a hand I needed to mulligan. I had some powerful components. I had a temple, so I feel like I had 3 shots at a land before I would miss a drop. Oh, interesting. All right. I think I'll be able to cast everything in my hand. Even though I'll need double white on some things. This may not be the right call, but it does stop Valakut. So he's trying to go a very fair route with Courser. He realizes we're not going to win very fast. And he can just grind us a bit. It also gives him a way to attack a Planeswalker, which isn't nothing. He's going to get all the basics, though, and this is just not going to be as good. I really need a land here to kill Courser. Oh, just any land. Not a come to play tap land. And then it comes in and doesn't do anything either. It's doubly crappy for us. Bah! All right. He can already hit Primeval Titan here. This is rough. Okay. At least all I can do is ramp. A Wrath would be amazing here. Yeah, the Courser. Oh, there we go. Oh, I can't cast it because I cast my Blood Moon. That's funny. That is funny. We've got a lot of really good stuff in our hand. If we could Wrath there, we might be able to win. That no temple action into not double planes. That's a real thing with this deck. That's also the issue with I've been funny if Blood Moon had kept him off that and he died to the activation or the upkeep cost. Would have been sweet. I'm assuming he kills Nahiri. We got Nahiri's for days. He's thinning like crazy though. I mean, we have powerful cards against his deck, against any kind of a control deck. And now that I believe we've locked out dying to, what's it called? Dying to Escape Shift. I feel a lot better about our spot. We're one juicy planes from Elspeth or Wrath of God. He's thinning so much, though. He's 12 cards into his deck further than us. That is deep. Thankfully, I don't believe like his sideboard cards are too durable. So he's going crazy. He's going to have 100 lands. This is going to be the most 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't think I've ever played against him who had 16 lands in play in Modern ever. We need to filter. And he can use it right now, so there's no point. I'm going to hope I get a white, I guess. But I would have died to Blood Moon anyway. So it doesn't really matter. I think I just slam a Johnny. And then if he doesn't attack Nahiri, then a Johnny's going to stick. Because if he doesn't attack a Nahiri, then I just kill Primeval Titan, exile Primeval Titan next turn. So let's shut down a forest. We're actually looking okay this game. And he has to worry about me exiling all his threats. He is thinning like crazy. So, I mean, like, most of his deck is just business now. He has maybe 8 more lands in his deck. If I'd been able to get a Chalice for 2, that would have been what I'd want to stick. But I don't think I would have had a spot to do it. He's ready to brick on lands here pretty soon. He doesn't have more than maybe 6 more. He's got 17 out there. Maybe 7 more. No, his Winslow he's in the grave. So he's got 18 lands that he's played so far. Yeah, he's got to get rid of Nahiri, but unfortunately for us, we got more Nahiris. Hopefully, then he's got spells. We'll see what he's got here. Escape Shift? Okay. What does Escape Shift do? He just can get the rest of the lands out of his deck, I guess. To make sure he's just drawing spells. Okay. Actually, I guess I want to... I could just make it where this thing doesn't untap. And then I just play Nahiri and start ramping up Nahiri. I think that's my best play. Is lock down Primeval Titan so I can play Nahiri. And Nahiri should allow me to get the white mana that I need.
There we go. But we're looking fairly good this game. I didn't think we'd be able to win, but the Planeswalkers are powerful. I haven't had much experience with these Planeswalkers. Okay. They just don't matter in the context of these Planeswalkers usually. If I'm a little bit up, I just get to wrath those guys away now. And I can do it with... And he's playing the regular, so no counter spells or anything. Pretty sure I can just play Elspeth. And then... I should have done that first, but I don't see what I would draw that would be better than that. I'm going to keep the Blood Moon in case he has a disenchant. I don't think I need another Wrath of God. And I will jam it next turn. All right. So the big question is how good conscripts would be. Can I get like a big kill off of it? Can I steal his Primeval Titan, bring in a couple of lands, and smack him with it, getting it tapped so I can kill with Gideon Druid? That I'm not sure. I don't see that Lightning Helix does much of anything. So I think conscripts is pretty good. If I can get a Blood Moon online, it means the game's going to go long. He has to kill us with creatures. So that makes it much more reasonable. Chalice seems very mediocre. I don't see anything else that looks exciting to bring in. So this is probably just our configuration. I'll try to get this on 2 if I can. All right, that's our sideboard configuration. I like to... I always wondered about that, why it puts us into the lobby. Like, why we don't get to look at our deck as long as they do. Even though we've submitted, why we can't just submit and then go hither. But... Alright. Now, I've played against a Scape Shift variant in here somewhere. Let me just find it real quick. See what my plan was. Oh, you can do 0 for Pact. That's probably worth it. This is good. Blood Moon seemed amazing. Nahiri was good. Wrath was good. It's a solid hand. Not a fast hand, but a solid hand. And Blood Moon doesn't need to be fast against this deck. In some decks it needs to be fast, but not this one. Ooh, nice. I think we can just top that. That just seems good. Once we get Blood Moon on, Wrath of God just seems good. I'm going to top that. That may not be right, but turn 2 Blood Moon into turn 3... I'm sorry, turn 2 Blood Moon into our business. Seems good. I'm expecting County Heart Expedition, Scourge Eyebolt, also reasonable. So, question is, do we gain much value from doing it right now, from jamming out Blood Moon right now, or is it better to wait a turn? I could get Nahiri in next turn and start leveling it up and then follow up with Blood Moon or Wrath of God before Valakut really matters. I mean, he needs to turn 7 Scape Shift. So I think we got some time. I'm going to try that angle. The worst that he does is maybe he plays a Courser next turn. Then I can just play Blood Moon, which is also fine, and wait on Nahiri. Or maybe I rip a Gideon, I can play it the next turn. So let's do it like this. He's got 4. He can be up to 5. All right, he can be up to 6 then. So then next turn, he cannot scape shift for the win. So he can go for a Primeval Titan, play it next turn, get Valakuts, which is bad for us. I really want to jam Nahiri, but I don't think that I can. I think that if he plays Primeval Titan next turn, that he'll be up to 8. I'll have Nahiri up to 8, and I can Wrath. But then I won't have Blood Mooned, and things will be bad. So let's start out with a nice juicy Blood Moon here first. Yeah, that's fine. He could definitely have an answer to Blood Moon, but if he does, then he can't get a Primeval Titan out there, which is also fine. If he gets Valakuts anyway, I guess he would get him anyway. He's got enough forests. That makes me feel like he has an answer to Blood Moon. But he did his damage there. I'll get to play an Elspeth next turn. And I haven't even gotten like my ley lines or anything like really exciting against him, so. Question is, do I want to just jam Elspeth here? Elspeth seems really good. Like Nahiri Kill Courser seems mediocre. Yeah. And if I play Nahiri and level up, he just bangs it back down, so it doesn't get me anywhere. I mean, I can filter a card, but my hand's good against him. All right, well, that's a good sign that he does not have a disenchant effect, or he would have done it on my Blood Moon before he played the Valakut. So I think he's just locked out without a disenchant. Okay, that's what he needs to get here. Because next turn I can play Nahiri or Wrath, and Wrath is really good against this version. And unlike Jund, this deck just isn't very afraid of Primeval Titan. I'll throw one under the bus here. Another prime time. Prime Tizam. All right, well, we're looking pretty good against that, too. I get to beat, make tokens, and then just Wrath. That seems busted. He needs some haste on that prime time. Expedite. That's what he needs. That's what the sideboard needs to be against us. He's just doing a lot of things that just don't matter. All right, so we'll start out by squeezing in our 1 damage. Then we can Wrath and then just rinse repeat. Let's not just go ahead and get the tap play. I can't make any other plays this turn. Let's put tap land and then create 3. Elspeth is just a house. I know when my friend plays 2. I think it's just too expensive, but it is very, very powerful. Okay. The planeswalkers are just gross. I just haven't played a modern deck with this many planeswalkers. Oh my lord. That seems good. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to get that guy out of the way. And then I think Nahiri is better than... No, Jura probably finished it quicker. I get him down to 17. No, Nahiri's faster, I think. Still looking at about a 3-turn clock. Nahiri just does bigger stuff with Emrakul, so I'm going to do that. It also gave me a better shot at getting, a better defense to what he's going to try to do here, I'm guessing. Like, make myself a little bit less vulnerable to a disenchant. Alright. So now we're going to filter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't need quadruple planes. I don't need the Blessed Alliance either. I'd really have to get another Blood Moon just to shore this up. I did not get it. Should attack first. I'm just kind of shortcutting. I don't think he's going to do anything here. We're looking pretty good here. Let's get some Gideon out there. All right. I think that finishes him off. That does 12. And I'll get to Nahiri next turn. The interesting thing about this deck versus Jund is just that you get to do busted things. Like, you get to spot like this, I could just forget to activate 2 of my Planeswalkers. I could misclick. I could be stupid, play badly, still win. Jund, you're fighting such tight edges that you can play against some bad matchups or get a bad draw and play against an inferior player and just lose. While this deck, if you're playing against a bad matchup, you're in rough shape. But sometimes you just steamroll an amazing player with a great deck because the matchup is just bad for them. So right now, I cannot do the emblem, unfortunately. All right, well, let's discard and draw. He kept Nahiri off of Emrakul, give himself 1 more turn. I'm not sure that that does anything for him, but... And everything's a basic, so I can't even crumbling. Oh, does it still count that? I don't think... Huh, why can't I untap my mana? That's very weird. Well, let's see what happens when I do this. Okay, we can just back it up. All right, I don't know what we do here to lose, but... Put 3 down. I don't know what we're expecting him to have that hurts Blood Moon.
I can't quite stop Scape Shift, but I should be able to stop a Disenchant effect for Blood Moon, which might just be 2. He's having some lag issues as well, but you can see, I mean, getting the Planeswalkers out, it just works out like a Planeswalker control deck. But instead of counter spells and discard, our forms of disruption are Blood Moon and Chalice. We've already been having some very interesting discussions about mulliganing, because I believe mulliganing is one of the key aspects of this deck before and after board. I had a hand that normally I think you look at and you go, oh, this is an easy mulligan, but I don't think it was an easy mulligan. It was game 1, so I had no information about my opponent. I had 2 Simian Spirit Guides, a Wrath, a Temple, a Foundry, and 2 Plains. And I feel almost like the Temple pushed it over the top, because I get the Temple. And if I draw one of my like Blood Moon, Chalice, 4-mana Planeswalkers, I got 2 Simian Spirit Guides. Turn 2, Nahiri on the play? That seems good, right? Planeswalkers make up for a lot of card disadvantage with Simian Spirit Guides and Dead Chalices. You just go, oh, okay, you don't have a creature? Oh, you're not going to kill me right away? Oh, okay, well then I'll just do a lot of busted stuff with my Planeswalkers. And then we'll call it game. So... Alright, I could have done Chalice pre-attack, but I don't think it matters. So we're going to ram in front of Gideon. Just trying to think what they do to bust up Blood Moon. Rexage probably is the most likely candidate, so I'm going to go ahead and do, whoops, I'm going to go ahead and do 3. Alright, and some of the matches just seem like super easy matches, like, I don't think we had a particularly good draw. We just eviscerated him. He can't deal with the types of permanents that we're putting out there for him. Doesn't mean he doesn't have an answer to Blood Moon, but I don't think he has 4 or 5 answers. He has 1 or 2, maybe? Alright, so now we can get out a turn 0 Chalice. On a default, you do turn 1 Chalice, I think. I could even go for turn 2 Ajani. Gotta say, it's tempting. Turn 2 Ajani on the play. It can't be IOK'd. And then we have Chalice on turn 3 or Lightning Helix. Yeah, people think it's just like a turbo out Chalice, turbo out Blood Moon kind of thing, but it isn't always. If we're up against a deck that doesn't have 1-drop spells, then playing the Chalice for 1 can be bad. If they don't happen to have 1-drop spells in their hands, it could be bad. Turn 2 Nahiri on the play with a backup seems amazing. I'm going to try for that. I may get punished. If he has Thoughtseize right off, I'm a little bit punished. I've got that and that into land. Do I really need the land? I will at some point. I'm going to bottom that right now, though. right, well, it could have been Chalice on 1, but it wasn't now. And now that might mean I lose. I don't know. All right, let's make sure I don't do this wrong. I don't know why I was thinking it was Nahiri. It is definitely not Nahiri. It's a Johnny, and that's going to make a difference. But him being able to do Golgari Grave Troll is going to be rough. And Chalice for 1 is still good against them. It does stop some stuff. Definitely not amazing. This is a tough matchup. If I had Chalice on turn 1, it'd be a different game, I think. Definitely getting the Plains. So we're getting to the point where we might be able to actually ultimate this. That seems decent. He's got blood gas now. Finally got the blood gassed.
That's just rough. Definitely should have been Chalice for 1. I don't know how that would have... how the game would be different. I'm not sure. I don't know how many lands he has. Does he have all of them? All right. I guess I just kill one. If there's any chance of me racing him, hoping that I rip an anger here. I'd have 3 angers main. No, I think I need to get rid of these. And hopefully I can journey to nowhere a couple of others. A land would be good here. That's not good. All right, so I think the move here is to tap 1. Doesn't untap. I think I can just Lightning Helix the other. He doesn't have a way to get it back right now. Maybe you just have to journey to nowhere that thing. Maybe that's my only... It just doesn't get better than that. All right, we got a little lucky there. Attack Johnny down. He can conflagrate it dead if he wants. Yep, that's bad. And the Chalice doesn't hit conflagrate, which is annoying. Now, if it had been Nahiri like I thought it was, we probably would have won this game. But being that it was a Johnny, I think it was the right call to not do what I wanted to do. And I can still rip a land and exile that. I can exile the Blood Gas too. Let's go ahead and just take this out, give myself a few more turns. I guess I hope for land, Nahiri. Whoa. Yeah, I'm just dead, I think. That's a big Grave Troll. And Blood Moon's terrible against them. All their enablers are red, so hopefully this scares him because he's bad. He doesn't know what's going on, and he'll bring something in against this. But that no Chalice for 1 on turn 1 was a mistake. That is it. All right. This is a tough matchup. All right. We get to bring in a couple of silver bullets. But the Blood Moons are bad, and the Chalices are pretty bad. Cage is amazing. Rest in Peace is amazing. And Brimaz is solid. And that's really all you got. Like, you don't have a lot of tools against that deck. That deck I see a lot more online and a lot at SCG Opens and very little at GPs. So we'll see if that holds true. I hope it does because this is not a matchup that I'm dying to play against a lot. Anger's really good. I just don't know if we can keep the sweet, sweet 7. We got a whole bunch of lands and none of... Anger is amazing though. We have nothing else to disrupt. We do have a quicker spell. We have a Temple to help us get there. And Anger is a great tool. I don't know what else we would hope for in the hand. Obviously more business. But in terms of a hand that we'd be more excited about keeping. Let's take a look at the deck real quick and just kind of run over some mulligan possibilities here. Alright. Now I'm trying to find the deck. I'm having some trouble. Oh, there we go. Boros update. Alright. So, all the exile ones, like Nahiri's pretty good against those things. Anger is probably our single best card, and we've got it. And we've got a way to play something else a little faster, like a Planeswalker that we might draw. And that could be a big deal. I think this is a hand we keep. We get a Temple to make it a little better. Any business spell we can keep, pretty much. I wouldn't be excited about a Lightning Helix, that's for sure. All right, I think we just jam. Chalice for One's as good as it gets in this deck. It does suck that it doesn't kill, that doesn't stop Conflagrate. That's not ideal, but so he's going to do what next turn? Bring nothing out and nothing back. He's just going to get deeper with the Golgari Grave Troll. I don't really think Simian Spirit Guide does me much good right now. A 2/2 for nothing. It does allow me to protect the Planeswalker. Maybe get in a beat. Maybe I should have played one Simian Spirit Guide there. He's in a spot where he needs to draw lands anyway. I can still rip Elspeth. I don't think I really need the 5th land. Not sure I need the Simian Spirit Guide, honestly. It does give me the 5th land for this. I think I'm going to get rid of one Simian Spirit Guide, see what I can draw. All right. That deck dies more. Whoa, that's not good. Hopefully it didn't rip a land. That deck dies more to itself than it does to anything else. So you can Ancient Grudge now the Chalice. Okay, so he's going to be able to play the land, bring all the blood gas back, and I'll be able to anger and protect Nahiri, which is big. And I probably just play another Chalice for 1. Wow, all the blood ghasts. All the blood ghasts. Alright. And I really need to get Nahiri up. So I need to build an anger. He was smart enough not to bring them all back. But at least he won't be able to attack it down this turn. Let's exile those guys. I'm not sure we need another Nahiri. What does another Nahiri do for us? We'll use the 8 next turn that we can play Nahiri and exile a creature just to give us more time if we want. I don't think Chalice for 1 does anything. He's gonna kill Chalice. Maybe Simian Spirit Guide does less. I want to rip more interesting Planeswalkers. By dumping this, it could mean I draw Elspeth. I could also just rip a land, and it might not matter. Alright, I think I just double up on Chalice. Two is interesting. It stops Ancient Grudge, but I don't know that that's necessary. Yeah, he wants to get rid of the Chalice. Clearly, that's a thing. And like most control decks, this is a deck where you need to know the format. You need to know what you're chalicing, how much you're chalicing for. Is Chalice good against the deck? How many non-basics do they have? You know, how can they attack planeswalkers? I think we're in a pretty good spot here. Is it Cathartic Reunion? Oh yeah, I'm bad. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, but I keep forgetting about that card. All right, let's see if we can churn some more planeswalkers here. So we got Wrath to help us get up to Nahiri. A couple Narcomoebas. He needs the lands. That'll trigger the Bloodghasts, which I'm assuming he wants. He doesn't want the Bloodghast either. Interesting. So right now, he doesn't get any haste or anything next turn. I really want to get a better Anger. But I think right now it's just Wrath. Make him bring more stuff back, and then I can Anger. And I could even bother to kill the Exiled, or kill the Prized Amalgam, but that doesn't seem right. Oh, he can do that at end of turn, can't he? With the fetch. Yeah, that's annoying. So he Bloodstained Mires to get the Bloodghast back to be able to attack Nahiri down, and then I can Anger. Which may mean that Wrath isn't that great right now. I do need to... Yeah, because he'll get that back. Let me think how this goes. He gets the Bloodghast back, which don't trigger anything else just yet. And then he can attack this for 4. But if I don't kill the Prized Amalgam, and I try to Wrath it, then he just gets it back anyway with Bloodghast, which means it's no good. So I couldn't... They attack it. This is tricky. Maybe I have to exile this. Let them attack this. And then I get to Anger, and I hope I rip another Planeswalker. Because if I Anger now, he just got those 2 guys active. And every time he draws a land, he's getting me. He's got Life from the Loam going too, so that's not going to work. Wrath seems terrible. I could Nahiri into another Planeswalker, which could be interesting. Gideon's interesting.
And that sets me up for Nahiri, which is also interesting. Or it protects Nahiri, excuse me. Just make everyone attack Gideon. And then Nahiri gets loose for 15. And I hope that I draw like a helix. I think that's it. And if he doesn't tap out and try to kill, he's got exactly enough to kill Gideon, which is annoying. Otherwise, I think I'd be a windmill slam to win this game. No, I'm sorry. He can just. Oh, he doesn't have one. All right, doesn't have another fireball to my planeswalker. That's good. But he has to have just enough to kill Gideon, which is annoying, to say the least. So he has what that would punish me? I kind of want to wait one turn. Can I wait one turn? It seems like I can. I don't see anything else that's going to attack my planeswalkers. So I don't really want him to sack all his dudes. I can make him sack all his lands and anger away. I think I can afford... Actually, let's anger first. Make sure that works. We definitely want to do that any way we slice it here. All right, let's anger first. All right. So now I believe the way is clear. He can do Lifelong. He can do Golgari Grave Troll if he would like. He can flashback Faithless Looting. Yeah, nothing there really matters. I may end up losing because of that. We'll see. But he doesn't have enough cards in his hand to rip like a Conflagrate and have it matter, so... Oops. Alright, what does he have there? Okay. It seems fine. Oh, interesting.
So do I go for the 12 up and then try to kill the Golgari Troll? I don't think I can do that. I think I have to try to 15 him and hope. And now he can just hard cast stuff, so Graph Digger's Cage isn't worth it. Emrakul's my boy. It's annoying that he happens to be at 17, so I'm looking at needing... Well, it's whether or not that guy can kill me in 2 hits. He needs to do it 3 hits. Otherwise, I just kill that guy the next turn. Alright, let's thin a little bit, I guess. So he has to kill Nahiri. But doing it the turn before would not have been correct. I think I'd played this correctly. Obviously, he gets outs with the Golgari Grave Troll. But I have 3 turns, 3 draws before I'm dead. Really? I think he messed up, right? Don't I just exile it? Oops. Oh. If he attacks Nahiri, he's still in it, though, I think. Apparently, he brings in... Apparently, Chalice for 1 is a big deal. Or he's just worried about Grafdigger's Cage. But we didn't draw any of our silver bullets, and we still were able to win. Having him take a few shock land damage and then being able to lightning helix him and finish him with Emrakul seems like something that might actually happen a few times. This seems excellent. All right, we got to be a favorite with this hand. Yeah. All right, question is, how good is Rest in Peace right this second? Is it great, or do we play it more like a spell that wipes out a bunch of stuff once he gets into play? This does allow him to dredge. If I do it that way. If I do Rest in Peace, he's unable to dredge. But it also means he can just play them after and I don't get any value for it. And he showed 2 disenchant effects. And I like the idea of being able to get a Planeswalker out early. I think here we just take it. Let him do his thing. I want to be able to at least kill some stuff. At least hit him like once with some, you know. Maybe he does a big cathartic reunion. He's doing it right now, so I'm guessing he's going to do something else this turn. And then it gives us like a chunk of his deck. Like we get rid of like a prized amalgam. We get rid of... He's liable to throw some other stuff in there too. Like the creatures that he wants to get rid of. Exactly. Let's get rid of all that garbage. And he draws some more. Yeah, let's get all that in there. 2 prized amalgams, and that's it. Whoa. Yeah, each draw he gets to dredge, which is amazing. All right, let's see what that does. That had to be the right time to do that. All right, it felt like the right time anyway. All right, we can do Gideon. We can also just go for Nahiri. Gideon just doesn't do a lot very fast. Yeah, that's how we do. We crush. We crush. He made of iron. So we've beaten a couple of pretty tough matchups. And got a concession from Sam Pardee in what I think is a pretty decent matchup. We don't have any windmill slams against them like Rest in Peace, being good against them, or Grafdigger's Cage, but we do have a bunch of jabs and crosses and right hooks with chalices, even Blood Moon. So I feel like I'll have a lot of really, really good leagues, and then I'll decide, I think I'm going to record this one for Mind Sports, and then it goes terribly. or a timeout or do something else that doesn't look pretty. I'm really coming around to Simian Spirit Guide, though. He is a sexy, sexy man. All right. We get Chalice, turn 2, followed by Blood Moon on turn 3. I think this is just the hand you have to keep. It's got all the hate we could ask for, and it's got some mana. I'm not going to think it doesn't make a big difference that one, but I'm going to go for a Plains anyway, so I'm just going to play Sacred Foundry tapped. Another Dredge deck. All right. It's probably not great for us. Well, Blood Moon means nothing, so it's a challenge for one. We had an otherwise pretty good hate hand. Oh, the challenge for one also stops their disenchant effects. So after board, it's pretty important for keeping Grafdigger's Cage if we can keep it. We only have one, so. I'm really shutting off a time. Again, if this could shut off Conflagrate, it'd be a whole nother ball game. All right. He's going to get the sweet hand, and not much I can do about it. I mean, the Dredge decks must be doing well in here. He's 3-0, I guess. Ooh. Let's bottom that piece of garbage for sure. So I think I just take it. Take the 10 ball. I don't think most people are thinking about anger game one, but they might be. He's gonna have haste anyway, so it might be right not just to pass on him. Yeah, that seems like that's right for him. I'm tempted to do right now. Wrath would leave me with. That's half the anger now. Even if I could Wrath. All right, he's getting back Blood Gas, but that's it, I think. All right, getting back Narcomoeba. And another prized amalgam, so that's sweet for him. Well, they don't have haste, at least. I wish I could just play against some normal decks for you guys so I wouldn't see this weird inbred Dredge matchup.
Rally the peasants. Oh, wow, can get me to 1. Down to 1. Ouch. So he has no lands. I have to Wrath. No, he just gets life from the loan, right? And then brings back Bloodghast and kills me. So the only thing that allows me to live here is a Helix. That's what I'm going to do then. And now he can conflagrate. Well, that's probably GG's here. All right. We get a few nice cards from the board. I'm wondering if Leyline is better just to stop Conflagrate on my Planeswalkers. It might be that that's the right call, honestly. Chalice also just doesn't seem very good. But Chalice on 1, if I have the Grafter's Cage, can be big. That following up. I just don't know. I don't know how good Lightning Helix is either. The life gain can be relevant. And Leyline definitely stops Conflagrate, which has definitely been a thing. I'm going to try the Leylines. Again, not 100% sure that's the right call versus Chalice. Turn 1 Chalice is still quite good against him. I'm going to try it like this. It's not one where I'm going to like mulligan for a Leyline or something. I'm going to mulligan this because it's a crappy hand. This is as good as it gets. So we get a turn 1. And we'll see what that does even. And we're set up to draw a Planeswalker. He can still do Cathartic Reunion. I can't stop it. So I have to hope he doesn't have Cathartic Reunion. And that's a lot to ask. Okay. And now we're just kind of seeing who's going to rip what. He can also just play creatures. And I can't do a lot about that. The 1/2 Stinkweed Imp. No. think I can wait a turn before I play it. They don't play any discard. I can wait a turn. Apparently, though, Chalice for 1 does do something. All right. I don't know that I can wait any longer on Rest in Peace. There's nothing in there right now. So I'm tempted. I just don't think I can wait. This is my best shot to just take these 2 out and protect my Planeswalker for the next turn. Alright, I've done what I can do. Now he's going to play like a Grave Troll for none. Alright, that's kind of what I was hoping. If I wasn't going to draw a land, Brimaz is right up there with most desirable cards to draw. This is just a hate deck. Look at all the hate out here. Yeah. Alright. So, the draw is a very different place to be. I think Helix can help keep them off of Gravecrawler haste. It can help keep them off of being able to kill a Planeswalker, possibly. Giving you an extra turn, or like killing a guy when he attacks so he doesn't finish it off. But I think that Leyline has a bigger impact in the game. I think that oftentimes when you're doing that with Lightning Helix, you're just not winning. It's just kind of prolonging the inevitable. It's not really dealing with their engine. Alright, so we've got Anger, we've got 2 lands, we've got a Chalice on 1 coming out on turn 2. But double Anger is insane. So, easy keep. And I've got the double red and the double white. So, insane across the board. That is not what we want to do. That's not what this deck is trying to do, that's for sure. Is to rip Emrakul. I do draw Emrakul a lot. We were joking about cutting down some other cards to just 1 of so we could draw them a lot, because we draw Emrakul like it's nobody's business. Now, so he brought in Abrupt Decay, so he'd have a 2-mana spell. That's not going to stop me from playing Chalice for 1 here. Maybe we can get a Chalice for 2 later. All of these cards, he hasn't gotten a Dredge Enabler yet. It's weird. That's sort of a Dredge Enabler. That doesn't feel good for us. And I don't believe that I can wait. I think I just have to Anger now. And if he wants to wait on the other Blood Gas, that's fine. But this is a pretty good spot for us. Can't ask for much more than that. Sure.
He had the Ancient Grudge anyway, flashback, so. I don't think playing another Chalice would have been right. Oh, he's just short on lands. Alright, sweet. Oh, I thought he didn't have enough lands. Alright, so I think Brimaz is the right play here. Maybe Chalice for 1 again? It just stops Nature's Claim. I'm not really trying to do anything with Nature's Claim. I think it's just Brimaz. Brimaz seems like a house here. And then I can try to get some anger on next turn. He can play a big old fat Golgari Grave Troll next turn with a land. Right now it looks like he can. Let's make that a little bigger. I thought it would make it bigger. It does not make it bigger. He has Ancient Grudge in there. 2 Ancient Grudges for Chalice slash Grafdigger's Cage. I am assuming, I want to take a quick ruling here. I am assuming that okay, I thought it was. I thought it was just 2. So that means a Chalice for 2 just shuts that down. And there's not much else he's doing right here. So I think it's just Brimaz. I mean, if his creatures don't pressure enough, then it makes the anger that much more devastating because I can wait. I guess he can conflagrate, though, which is a little bit awkward. I'm okay with that. If we kill this guy, all right, that's a good sign. I'm assuming since he doesn't have haste on his guys that he'll do it like that. Man, that was what I was worried about. Oh, it's only a 4/4. That's not the end of the world. No more lands was a little bit rough there, though, gotta say. I guess I do have the advantage of angering now, and then I can double block and actually make a token that would stick around. That's an interesting possibility. The other possibility is just to beat, make a dude. But I can anger and then just attack. And if he wants to trade up for then he gets to trade for Brimaz. And he gets to know what he's doing as opposed to me just attacking now and angering afterward. I get a dude either way. It's hard for me to imagine a scenario where I don't anger this turn. It's what I can do for 3. I have lots of to do on 4. So I would like to be able to Nahiri this guy. So I don't know that throwing Brimaz away on Golgari Grave Troll is worth it. I do have Wrath, which takes care of it as well. There's a chance he just doesn't block. The one advantage to doing the anger first is it does allow me to make a dude. I have a dude left over that can block something and protect my planeswalkers. So I think that's what I need to do. That's what I'm going to do. And I think I'm fine if he wants to trade Brimaz for that. Seems like a good trade for me. So the next Golgari Grave Troll will be smaller. Alright, I think it's just banishing like that guy. I don't have much other choice. I could try something like Chalice for 1. Oh yeah, it has to be Chalice for 1 because he can... no, because then he can Ancient Grudge it. And then just follow up with Nature's Claim if he has it. And if he doesn't have Nature's Claim, then it won't matter anyway, so... It's gotta work. And he enters the battlefield, so even when I do that, he's still... going to be annoying. The deck has a lot of different directions it can go. Not different directions, but a lot of different angles in terms of 1-ofs, 2-ofs. Like my friend John Pellman's deck and Todd Stevens' decks are quite a bit different. Pellman's taking advantage of Ajani and the Ajani Blood Moon synergy, which is, Blood Moon to take care of all the non-basics, and then Ajani to tap the one good land they've got, the forest, the swamp, just to slow them down. I've yet to ultimate Ajani, but I've heard it's fun to do. Maybe another Grave Troll? Faithless Looting? But if I'd done that in a turn, he would have just Ancient Grudged it. Nothing I can do about that. So. What did I get in the area? Right now I have triple Bloodghast, double Prized Amalgam. I guess he's going to have to hardcast some of those. Alright, that's a couple of Nature's Claims. 3. He plays 4 Nature's Claims against decks like mine. That's a lot. And I don't think Chalice for 1 does anything. I think Chalice for 2 is where it needs to be. So, I will wait. Alright, now he's going to be able to just dredge back a big guy. Maybe I can deck him. I just needed a land there. Didn't matter what it was, just some kind of land. I got this yummy Cat Soldier token to... Still no lands. Can't get a 4th land. Now he can configurate for 1 and hit me for 19. All because I couldn't draw 1 land to slow him down. Ah! I was fine without this guy. I think he's just done. Yep, can't do anything. Just didn't draw any lands the whole game. I drew 2 Angers, which was great, but otherwise the hand was very lackluster. You can see how easy it is when you draw the Angers. It's very good. If I was playing against on the SCG tour, I would probably fit 4 anger between the board and the main. It's still good against quite a few other decks, and it's a house against them. Yep. Yeah, that's game. One more land for the win. You can do some stuff in this matchup, though. You got some play. I feel like I had 4 or 5 turns to be able to draw a 4th land and didn't. What did he have? 8 lands in play or something like that? All right, let's battle this 5th match. See if we can go 4-1. All right, so we have Blood Moon on turn 3, and some Planeswalkers, and then a Brimaz. I mean, if we're up against like Infect, we just lose. Affinity, we probably just lose. A lot of the fair decks, this is probably decent. I'm going to keep. Got another Dredge deck. Copperline Gorge. Alright, let's not thin. So he didn't want, he's a little light on land, apparently. So Jund, maybe Dredge. But there's that much Dredge on Moto. It's just... Okay, not Dredge. Try to shut down some stuff like his discard at least. Shut down lightning bolts to finish me off. Alright, Lily. Sure. He's got all basics. I'll discard a Blood Moon. Giving him an enchantment is not like optimal, but I guess I could just not throw it out there, but I think I need to throw it out there. Let's see what I can get off this. Just need business. That is not business. I'm trying to draw all my Blood Moons apparently. Because like an Ajani there would have been able to kill Liliana, then it would have died to Tarmogoyf, then I have Nahiri's out the wazoo, and Nahiri just crushes Liliana from what I've seen. So if he is Jund. Maybe the Blood Moon still has value, but I wanted to be able to discard the Blood Moon to Liliana. I want to be able to play nothing but Planeswalkers after that, so. And the red is mostly lightning bolt anyway, so a good player would have had like a lightning helix for the Liliana here, but yeah, that's fine. Planeswalkers are tough on Jund. Maybe thinking, oh no, just discarding the cards that Chalice voided anyway, but not the case at all actually, because quite a big deal that I'm not at 2 here with those bolts to the face. So I'm going to be able to... interesting. Is it better to Nahiri and axe Goyf, or better to just play a Johnny and kill Liliana? It gets, if I Nahiri and get rid of Goyf, I'm on 4 loyal. I'm on 2 loyalty. He Liliana's up to 4. I have to discard like a relevant card. I would discard a land, then I would be able to play a Johnny, not kill Liliana, and lose my other Nahiri. I think it's just a Johnny, kill Liliana. It does open up just another Liliana. He hasn't been casting spells. If they were creatures, I think he would play them. So, question is now, and if he plays another dude next turn, then I'm too far behind. And I just die. So I think actually I have to play Nahiri and take out Goyf. No need to play my next land, I don't think. He's a long way from ultimating it as well. I think I just Nahiri away the land. And then I've got multiple relevant threats. I kind of like Chalice on 2 here, but a Johnny ping Liliana seems awesome. If he had a 2-mana threat, he would have played it. He might just brick and not draw anything. Could also tick it up to 4. I'm going to ping it. I'm going to take Liliana out of the equation here at least a little bit. All right. So it gets my life total in a better place. I don't know why he cast Inquisition, as he forgot. Is Chalice on 2 better? Does that just brick the his whole deck? Another Nahiri seems insane, though. I just can't play another Nahiri. That's the thing. I can play a Chalice. I'm just going to stonewall everything else that he's got. All right, let's start off by targeting that. See if maybe we rip another land. We did. That's an easy bottom. No, that was an easy bot. I could just play Simian Spirit Guide and attack Liliana. I can a Johnny and kill it if I want. It'll depend somewhat on what I draw here, probably. Let's churn here. The card draw on this deck's actually decent. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, fuck. I did the same thing he did. Yeah, he just said, I forgot too. It's funny. I think just taking out Liliana now seems pretty good. I can keep him off another Liliana by taking away his double black, and that's something as well. And he might get an awkward spot where it's hard for him to... Yeah, Planeswalkers are just tough for that deck. Alright, so Zealous Conscripts is great because of Liliana. I don't think they're expecting creatures in general. He did see a couple. Brimaw's pretty good. Leon stops Liliana as well as... Well, the Liliana Ultimate as well as the second creature if that becomes a thing. Blessed Alliance is probably good enough. Anger is decidedly mediocre. He knows we have Blood Moons, and I feel like he's going to be pretty ready for them. The Planeswalkers are all insane. Wrath is quite good. All the creature removal package is usually pretty good. I feel like Blood Moon after board is just very lackluster. They know what's going on. Rest in Peace can also take care of, or at least minimize, Goyfs. If not, sorry, take care of them all together. It does mess with Emrakul. So our options here are... We have several possibilities. The Chalices are good on 1 or 2. Elspeth and all the Planeswalkers are excellent. Zealous Conscripts can be a big play. All these Planeswalkers good. Wrath good. Leyline of Sanctity good. Brimaz is good if he's unchecked. Banishing Light is good. So it comes down to Blood Moons and Lightning Helixes. And I really just don't know what the correct play is. I'm kind of tempted to take out a couple of each. Because he's going to go for basics. I'm going to leave 1 in. Because it could take out some... It could take out some man lands. It's got some things that it can interact with. All right. All right, let's see how this thing's looking right now, this hand. Double Zealous Conscripts is not the dream, but stealing like Liliana and making them lose a guy or whatever seems pretty fun. All right, we got 1 land, though. Easy mulligan. For some reason I thought I had 2 lands initially, but pretty easy mull. This is like another mull, basically, by having Emrakul. I'm going to mull again. We have Chalice on turn 2. I'm going to keep Chalice on turn 1 with that. I think we top any mana producers. This is going to be rough, though. I'm
Chalice. Oh. It means he has no 1-drops in his hand, which makes the Chalice that much worse. So the question is then, do we try to hit a Bob? Try to ramp out one of these a little faster? I think we probably do. Chalice just doesn't seem very good right here. Unless he would wait one turn. I'm going to wait. Unless he would wait one turn to draw it. I'm not sure. Oh, so one turn to cast it. All right, so he has a land and not much else. I have to exile that. I hope I rip a land. I did rip a land. Sweet. I think in this spot I need to go for the white-red. I don't usually like that, but I don't play a lot of Blood Moon, so now it's... Freaks you out when it shows 3-4. So next turn I can jam a Planeswalker. Seems pretty good. I think it's Chalice here. Chalice here seems weak. Alright, and it's just Nahiri. Nahiri seems most powerful right here. I could play a Johnny and tap down one of his perms and then try to follow up with Nahiri. I get to draw and discard a card with Nahiri and hopefully get it up to Emrakul for his. I would get up to 6 right now. He goes to 5, I go to 8, he goes to 6, and I can do things. I could even go and get a conscript if I would prefer. Yeah, I think it has to be... It has to be Nahiri here and hope he doesn't have like a Maelstrom Pulse. It's pretty sweet. That worked out decently, actually. I think I can bottom that. Yeah, having the 4th land right away is not important. I've got all the white and red I need right now. I think those decks, I played Jund a lot. I think those decks are up to like a max of like 2 Maelstrom Pulse effects that can take out the large Planeswalkers. Usually the large Planeswalkers are really an issue. I'm just going to play that and level it up. I think I need the land. I don't want to have to discard that. There's not a lot I can think of drawing for 3 or less. That's very important. So I'm expecting him to tick it up to 6 next turn, figuring that he'll take 15 once. So Chalice for 1 would have been relevant. I have to get rid of Elspeth, definitely. And hope I don't rip a land. Yuck. Alright, this is awkward. So my hope here is to rip a Zealous Conscripts. Or another Planeswalker would be just fine. Simian Spirit Guide is interesting.
So do I want to just play it? He puts Nahiri away, and I can attack Lily for lethal. I guess that's what I have to do. I need to play it. I'm not going to get any value out of not playing it. Might make the piles a little bit tougher for him. Get right away into that. All right. Is it Nahiri and everything else? Do I get any lands? Or do we get Zippity Doodah here? So it will mean that I hit him for 15 and remove all his permanents, and then I've got Nahiri there. I have to take Nahiri, I think. I keep Nahiri, and then he would need to follow up. He has no lands. He won't have any lands. If he plays land guy here, then I would take care of everything. He'd be left with a guy. He could have a bolt. He could have a lot of stuff here. I mean, there's a chance that Simian Spirit Guide could just attack. The awkward thing here is if he has land guy. Because then he's up to 7 permanents. I'm tempted to take Simian Spirit Guide and lands. I'm pretty well matched up if the Simian, but again, if he has guy land, then he just blocks Simian Spirit and starts ticking up Liliana. But then I'm just more live off the top of my deck. All kinds of good stuff I can draw to win. Whatever. I'm going to go with the more fun answer here. What? Oh. Well, I misclicked. Or I didn't misclick, but I tapped wrong. I'm assuming he'll trade and not lose Liliana. I think in a tournament, I would probably go with this solution. I guess we're both kind of in the same spot. With the other way, if he doesn't have land guy, then why would he pay? Oh, he has lightning bolt also, so he has like all the cookies for this spot. That's awkward. All right. And he had perm, so he would have been able to get rid of like the clue, which would have been ugly. The no chalice on 1 was a big deal, though. He's gonna rip a 4-drop. Oh wow, what a sick rip! I don't even get to punish him. He just drew like 4 sweet lands and then nothing else. All right. I need Wrath. It doesn't seem very good. I think I have to go up to 5 and hope I can draw something. I don't think going down to 1 gives me any shot. All right, so you can lily it away, and then just, or I can just draw like an Abrupt Decay. Man, I thought I had this one. I don't know if I could have done anything differently. The big difference would have been Chalice for 1. It stops the bolts, which don't allow him to manipulate my planeswalkers. Wrath would be the start I would need right now to make this like a game at all. Wrath would have been ginormous there. Elspeth's already gone, so I think I can fake the funk and hold a land. Get all up in there. We're still hoping basically to get a Wrath. And we're going to take 13 to do that. Ouch. All right, that's it. All right, that's that game. I don't think I would change anything. The burn on the planeswalkers is relevant. I don't think Blood Moon is just going to be very good. Anger, I don't think he has enough loot, guys. He does have Bob and Tireless Tracker. And maybe occasionally you can get a Goyf with this. But I think that seems weak. Let's run it like that. I think I keep. I think I jam Chalice on turn 1. And hope that hurts him. I got all the lands I need except for my biggest planeswalkers. I'm going to thin. Kind of drawn most of the lands that I really want to draw. Let's get a basic in. Chalice for 1. Start seeing we can rip. I don't know if that's what we want. It doesn't seem great here. We kind of have hexproof with Chalice. Bob is probably his best play right here. All right, we can deal with Goif. I think I just go for planes. I don't have any blood moons anymore. This also kind of works like blood moon for red because his red is lightning bolts. So if he doesn't want to play a creature, then I get to play Nahiri and crush him. Crush this guy. If he does want to play a creature, then I can Wrath and wait on Nahiri. Yeah, that guy's going to have to die. I think it's just got to be Wrath here. It just doesn't get better than that, I don't think. I can wait a turn on the other if I wish. It does set up Goif to be better. So does Helix, though. Just got to be Wrath here, I think. He attacks it for 3. I'll level it up. He attacks it for 3. Does have to throw out Nahiri here? I feel like I do. I've got lots of other planeswalkers that can protect it also. And I get to ping it down next turn. I think I just have to play it. It's just too good. Get rid of this dumb Sacred Foundry. And get another Nahiri. That's okay. Not really worried about a Lily activation. He doesn't even have the double black yet. I'm gonna get my lands out into play here. I guess the 5th right then. No, I could draw a card and then draw Elspeth, and Elspeth would just be unstoppable. I can't stop that. What does he have for 1 green? Oh, Grafter's good. That's not nice. Alright. Brimaz does a decent job of just blocking and then throwing a guy out. I can also just play Nahiri and just axe this. And then I've got Brimaz the following turn, which is pretty good. Is it worth filtering? That's also a question to be asked. I don't know that Brimaz Lightning Helix is like a great answer. I mean, it deals with it, but I don't know if I love that answer to Goif. I think I just prefer just to drop. And if that's the case, then maybe Lightning Helix isn't my best option. I think Helix is not amazing in this spot. Alright, that's okay. Exile.
Hopefully he doesn't have a big threat here. He probably does. He might just have Lily. Pia, okay. Discard this ugly New Plains. A Johnny is good. A Johnny kills stuff. So if I a Johnny Pia now, and here you won't be dying. A Johnny would be dying. And here you'd be going at 3. If I play Brimaz, then he can attack, and sack and kill Nahiri. And I don't know that that's a big deal. What are we hoping for Nahiri to do? Discard and draw some cards. And then creature cards now, so we can go and get like an artifact, like a chalice, which wouldn't matter. I haven't been in these spots with these cards against each other. I've been on the other end of Grafdigger's Cage. I feel like it's just filtering, really. So this isn't as important as a Johnny, which makes me think that Brimaz is better. If he wants to double Thopter attack and then sack, that seems okay. Because if I bring out a Johnny, then we're looking at getting it insta-killed. And then I kill... The Pia would already be dead, excuse me. I kill Pia now. He just swings in, kills a Johnny, probably knocks Nahiri down 1. Then I could kill the other Thopter, or I could just tick it up and start churning to get more busted stuff. If I do Brimaz here, he can't attack with this guy. He's got both of those. He finishes off Nahiri most likely. Then a Johnny comes out, kills this, and I can actually start leveling up a Johnny, which may or may not be good. I'm going to play Brimaz. So Lily's coming out. All right. We can also add Johnny Lily away, which is pretty nice. Sure. So Wrath sets us up decently here. And then a Johnny can finish up on Lily. I definitely cannot play a land because I need Lily to die. He's got too many cards, though. Okay. The Brikowski. Okay. So Johnny's going to die, but at least Lily's going to die as well. I could wait and just start tapping Tarmogoyf.
That's also an interesting possibility. And not take out Lily. I take out Lily now, he just kills it with Tarmogoyf immediately. I'll play the Arid Mesa and just pass. He could do Lily, play other Lily, and that puts me in a bad spot. I probably shouldn't have played the 6th land. But then Lily dies anyway, which it would have done anyway. So I don't know that it matters a lot in this spot. We know he has business, or he would have used Liliana. He would have ticked up Liliana, so really not 100% sure. He's got a lot of big drops, which is annoying. Oh, I didn't thin after my turn. Of course, then I immediately draw a land. Yeah, I guess we're going to lose this game. I don't know what I could have done differently. I thought we're in a really good spot in this league, but... I mean, I can draw another land. I can draw like a Gideon or something. I can draw something big. That's what I really need, is something good. All right, let's thin a little bit. Boop. All right, we got 4 more lands left in our deck. So let's not draw any of those. What's he doing? Upkeeping something? I don't know what he's doing. Vendilion Click. Not sure what's coming out right here. Oh, Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, that doesn't seem good for us. Yep. And that's the 9. Well, we battled. And for the fun of it here, let's open our treasure chest. Let's do it as the final thing. All right. Oh, there we go. I've gotten some pretty decent stuff out of there. I opened up the 3 that I got yesterday, and I got a Sunken Ruins Expo and 10 points. And oh, I'm drawing a blank on the other one. It was a really good card. I don't remember what that was now. All right, let's open this thing. Yep, I want to open it. What I get? What I get? What I get? Okay. All right, wasn't good. I got a bad rare and then 2 commons. So not the dream, but yesterday was better. If you guys enjoyed the content and would like to see more, please use the TVC006 sign-up code when you are registering for the secret behind the paywall content. Additionally, if you guys are looking for any paper cards, and that this also lends to me being able to find more time to stream and to make content like this, then please, please, please email me at treyvancleave@gmail.com and send me your want list. I'll beat all retail pricing. Next day shipping, pics of everything before I send it. I have over 15,000 feedback on eBay, and I would love to one-stop shop all your Magic paper needs. So again, please check that out. And that should be it. Thanks, boys and girls. And I will hopefully be doing some more videos like this quite soon. Good night.